Hey, how's it going, everyone? Just want to do a quick video just on my 2023 prediction. Just because End Times Teacher was rambling on about a bunch of things, but just want to clarify, and just so I can send this to him and just other people, talking about my prediction and how it's failed or whatever. Just to clarify, I just went on Non Sequitur channel and tried to look for the exact video that I first made this prediction, and it was on the Non Sequitur show at the beginning of 2019, and Godless Engineer and all these other people were on it. And so, I made a prediction that if America is destroyed, not destroyed by the end of 2023, then, I will go on Non Sequitur or I guess now Fight the Flat Earth. Non Sequitur doesn't really do as much anymore. And then, destroy the Bible, burn the Bible. And so, I believe I wanted to actually hear what I said, but I worded it as if like everything is just the same, like basically like now, like just, it's kind of chugging along, no famines or, anything like that. Then, to me, I don't know, like it's definitely not a book that I should be reading from for sure. And so I definitely don't recommend people do what I said, but I meant it, and I'll just stand by it. To me, the end of 2023 is absolutely outlandish. And so again, I want people to know this was prior to Corolla, that I made that prediction. And so I had all of 2019 gone. 2020 is almost over. So I have 3 more years and then a little bit for America to just be in chaos, like visible chaos. And so from a qualitative perspective, you could argue that America's already sort of destroyed, now using different metrics, and like other people like Gregory Mannarino and other people are already saying like it's, a sinking ship and all that kind of stuff. It's obvious now. And it's literally impossible at this point for it to get better. It's impossible because like, the cat's out of the bag, so to speak. Like it's just, everybody knows that our leadership are just clowning us at this point. So one could argue, and I'm not here to argue or lobby for this position because I don't actually care about the quality of my prediction at this point anymore. It's Christ's second coming. That's all I'm really here for, to wait and see. All eyes will see him. So that's the most important thing for me. And I think a lot of people, more and more people every day. And so not here to defend that, but just to kind of clarify that you could make an argument that my prediction has already to some extent come true with all this stuff going on this year. All the unemployment and all that kind of stuff, that America is visibly destroyed, And so I don't think in that video I said exactly what I meant by destroyed. I just meant like it's going to be very obvious, and visible that, America's going to be like, in chaos, and that kind of thing. And so, that's my prediction. And so there's definitely no weaseling out after 2023, like, oh, I meant to say this and all. There's nowhere near that, and again, I've said that many times, so there's no semantics on that. It's like if Christ does not return prior to the end of 2023, then everything's off, because again, what I teach is that Christ returns prior to all that chaos. And so if there is chaos with Christ returning, then I was wrong, and so I shouldn't be teaching the Bible. Maybe it won't matter at that point because people will have bigger worries than, what I promised if there's food shortages. But again, if all these structures are still in place, I'll follow through with what I said, and if I'm still here in the body, which is also very unlikely. But I'm going to stick to my, what I said. But if I just reworded it, which is what it's equivalent to, is that if Christ doesn't return prior to 2023, then then I'm wrong, in my interpretation. Again, doesn't mean the Bible is not true. It just means that what I was teaching was incorrect. And so at that time, I didn't even have the sequence or anything. I just made that just out of hopefully, God, influenced frustration, with the world, and just how the corporate world was just evil and like boring, and you had to lie and just pretend like you like the place and you're getting paid with your own money and all those different things. So, it was rooted, I would say, in the right, type of frustration. And it was not just me, it was lots of people. And now it's like lots and lots of people. And so, that was the prediction. And so again, I'm not trying to get credit or street cred with anybody. Because again, what I teach with the two witnesses, I haven't heard anyone teach it that way, and I won't find anybody, you know, and I realize that. So either it's like something really important, you know, for me, or I just don't want to teach any of it, you know, and so that's why, you know, it doesn't make sense for me to teach, because I've already made, you know, through the videos afterwards, a very specific and I would say bold prediction. You know, it's not bold to me because it's obvious when I read the Bible, but for literally everybody else, it's bold. And so, and even if it's obvious to me, I still want to see it to believe it. I'm not just going to, you know, think that it's going to be true just because whatever, it's internally consistent and all those things, which are great, you know, forms of affirmation for me. But, you know, I would need to see it to believe it, obviously, and that kind of thing. So, just, I want to clarify that. So I could make an argument that America is definitely in the process of being destroyed, certainly right now. And, you know, that it's, you know, 2023 is looking good, you know, basically from what I said. And so the reason I stopped a few months ago is I then got the sequence and I taught that. And so in my mind, I was like, well, if this sequence is correct, no one's going to understand it, because I already knew that it's not going to be for anybody. And so I'm like, there's no point in me teaching that, because it's just not for anybody. What are they going to just believe me that I had that experience on January 1st? It's like, you know, it doesn't make sense, you know, I'm just being as humble and honest as I can. So that 1260 days, I sort of held myself to a more rigid prediction where it's not just general chaos and destruction. It's actually like, you know, destroyed, you know, with like the other nations, you know, sending over missiles and all that, which requires the two witnesses here and then 1260 days later that happening. And so that's why I subtracted 1260 from the last day of 2023 to get that date that I stopped prophesying, just to kind of have a reason to get out, you know, and not do my weekly live streams of prophecy and all that. So I'm doing more generic stuff now, and just whenever I see lies that are coming mostly from people like End Times Teacher and Obadiah and Good Servant and stuff. But, you know, I'm just more in like neutral mode. And then if anybody seems to have an opinion on Revelation 11, I definitely want to hear it, you know, and then I'll do a video maybe just to kind of get my thoughts out there of how contrasting it against mine and that kind of thing. But as far as pushing that narrative as if like I know for sure that it's going to happen that way and all that and soon, I just don't feel confident, because it's just, I mean, it sounds outlandish to me, you know, like just even the mark of the beast, even though we see it here, it's like, it's outlandish to think that the entire world would be that stupid to fall for anything that the government would push. Seeing even these recent debates, everybody's like, these people are stupid. Like, who in their right mind would fall for anything that those two people say, or anybody in the government at any time? It doesn't make sense. And so, and I see it in front of me, so I'm not, you know, diluting that or saying that it's not going to happen or unlikely. I would just be like, it's still hard for me to just believe that, and that's right in front of me. Like literally, I can pull up like hundreds of articles and videos right now about the mark of the beast. So much less two witnesses doing an exchange and then, you know, implementing Revelation 16 and all these other things, and then all the other correlations that I got in the Bible. Like, I mean, that's another level, you know, and I just don't think very many people will get it or care to know that level of detail. So that's why I took a more strict, you know, 1260 minus that last day to cut off the prophesying. And so, you know, now I'm more in like general stuff and that kind of thing. So, you know, I just want people to know, like, I don't, it doesn't mean that, you know, my interpretation of the two witnesses being Acts 1:10 is flawed or anything, or I'm worried about it. But, you know, that's why I stopped doing that, you know, just because I don't think there's any reason to keep pushing that, because it doesn't look like it's for very many people and all that kind of stuff. So that's the logic behind that. You know, so I hope that End Times Teacher understands that my actual prediction, which somebody can hold me to, I guess, if they want, is the end of 2023. That if there's no appearance of Christ, which should happen before these plagues. So if there's no plagues or anything like that, then I'm definitely wrong, because then, you know, obviously Christ, you know, would need to return before then. And so if there's no sign of any of that, either of those things, then you know, I'm off. You know, basically if it's kind of like the way it is right now, where people are just kicking the can down the road, a lot of people unemployed, it just seems sort of normal. You can still kind of go out and do stuff and all that. Then, you know, I'm wrong, you know, for sure. And so, then that's a lot of time, for me. I'm thinking more on the order of days, not like a year or two or anything like that. So much less three years. So that's literally insane for me to think that this clown show will go on for that long. And so I'm extremely comfortable with my 2023 prediction. I'm more cautious about my two witnesses interpretation because it's very peculiar. I don't know any other term to use. It's very, unique. And so I don't want to be pushing something that could potentially be false and and it just misleads people or anything like that, and then if it ends up being true, I've already done enough due diligence that no one gets it, and that's just the way it is. So there's no point in rehashing it that much more. But the more I hear other people's understanding of Revelation and Revelation 11, I have more and more comfort. And then every day that goes by with what's going on in the world, I have more and more comfort that that's the way it's going to go down. I just need the Bible to be true, really, and then us being in the end times, and then I know that that's the way it's going to go. But so that's the logic behind stopping a few months ago. And so just from a personal perspective, though, this year I'll be very kind of doing the stuff that I'm doing, posting a few videos, finance and the masks and all whatever I can, just little stuff that I hear going on and all that, diligently. Next year, a little bit probably less fervent, than now, where I have a ton of time and stuff. So, but after that, I won't post for 2022 and 2023. I don't even know what I'll do with my channel. It's just, I'll leave it up, I guess. But I don't know. I don't think there'll be anything more for me to say or push this two witnesses stuff, beyond that at all. If it doesn't happen in that time frame, I don't think I would even want those videos, to be totally honest, on my channel, because I don't know, then it's pretty far off, for that to be the case. And so then it's more likely just this thing will just sort of roll over, and just kind of man-infused, or man-based chaos, and then the mark of the beast, and, potentially the kind of things that GMS or End Times Teacher and people like that teach, where there's no appearance, to kick off the chaos or anything like that. So again, I can't co-sign that because I would need to see that as well, obviously, and I don't want to be a part of that anyway. But then it's more likely something like that. So that's just sort of my mindset, and so just so people get a sense that that's what I'm thinking, in my mind. So again, this year is I'm very watching things, very, very closely for, this exchange of the two witnesses and the 144,000. Next year, medium. And then after that, not much, really at all. Who knows what I'll even do with my channel. I'm not interested in the flat earth debate at all, really, anymore. I find everything that I hear from those debates stupid. And so I don't even have an interest in finding a unique solution. I'm not going to become a Satanist or worship the devil or anything like that. But I think I'll really just go back to a normal life. I just, if I still want to kind of hang around here and all that, I won't be involved in the Bible or the truth or anything like that. And I suspect the world at that point will not even allow people to even share things, and so I'm going to kind of do a reset. And so again, I'll still be around to the point where I'll follow up with my promise if I'm still here in the body, if I choose to still hang around, but at the end of 2023, but I'm not really going to take the Bible seriously after the end of next year, and so to me, that's a lot of time. Again, I'm more on the day-to-day side. I don't see how this can go on for very much longer, because the entire world is required to sin to stay in a place that I know is hell. And so, that's just what it is. And I'm not trying to deplete other people's faith. I'm just trying to be consistent with what I've taught, and then also, make sure that, I'm not going to wait for 100 years or anything like that. That would be inconsistent with what I'm teaching, to make a statement, to make the kind of predictions that I'm making, and then be like, yeah, I'll wait, another 50 years when I'm teaching about how this is hell. We're required to sin to stay here. It's boring. We're basically forced to play stupid and all these things, which I feel completely violate basic principles without even the Bible, which adds a whole bunch of raises the bar, much, much higher So, just it would be so inconsistent that I could never do something like that. But I want people to know, though, if something like that were to happen, and let's say hypothetically I would be incorrect, I would be very, very comfortable. I want people to know everything that I say and share on my channel, it's 100% me. Like, I'm extremely comfortable with it, and with God watching, because I'm going to read here in Luke 12, 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth, I tell you nay, but rather division. This is Christ speaking. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. We see that right now. And so he's prophesying this a long time ago. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, and mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law. He's just going to bring division everywhere. Just random chaos. And the only way to do this is to bring lots of spirits on earth that are against Christ. And the Bible says that Mystery Babylon is filled with every unclean and hateful bird. And so that's where all it's coming from. Christ is planting all this, this evil and this chaos. And know that. Remember in 51, suppose ye that I am come. So he's doing it. We have to give credit for credit where credit is due, and know that this is God's, this is prophetic, so it's coming to, we see it. So it's happening, and it's Christ is behind it. And he said also to the people, when you see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway you say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. This is double meaning. This is what these people don't understand. End times teacher and Obadiah and these idiots. We know that these clouds are UFOs. And so all these UFO videos that are popping up everywhere, we're supposed to know, people who are prophesying, reading from the Bible, what that means. Christ doesn't, this is double meaning. So he's speaking to people who are not spiritual. So this is for us in this time. This is not an actual rain shower that he's talking about, but he's using earthly things. Like if you can predict the weather, people on earth, then if you're spiritual, then you should be able to predict the weather with the clouds, an actual UFO. And so, that's for us, to interpret this. And when you see the south wind blow, you say there will be heat, and it comes to pass. Ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? That's also referring to the flat earth. There is a face, to the sky and of the earth. And so it's not like changing and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's obviously infers the surface, and all that kind of stuff, a flat surface. But it's like an actual face, like your face doesn't change and all that kind of stuff. Like it's not talking about a dynamic, ball flying through the space and all that kind of stuff. The only way that we can make these predictions of things that are repeatable here on earth, what he's getting at meteorologically and, spiritually as well. And so know that. Yea, and why even of you judge yourself, yea, and why even of yourselves judge ye not what is right? And so, just know that. So the reason that I read this is that during that frustration at the beginning of 2019, when I made that prediction that America would be in shambles by the end of 2023, I was looking at what was happening and then extrapolating it out. And so I was looking at what's going on in the world, and so I could see division in companies, and so just everywhere, just gossip and like people struggling to keep their jobs and all that. And so I saw division in the family, because certain people will just play along with the corporations and certain people aren't, and more now. So it's like, it's part of the division that's happening. I read a lot of these things on Reddit where like young people are getting no pity from their parents. They're just like, go find a job. They don't even care how stupid the economy is. And so just know that this older generation are vital to make the system the way it is, because they've just allowed this evil to just grow, and flourish unchecked. And so we're unfortunately having to live in this now. We know that it's too late. And so all we can do is essentially cry out to God, and I believe that this is all by design, that we're supposed to. So, don't feel hopeless in that, but that's what God wants. And so I saw the division at that time, and I just was like frustrated. And I'm like, well, this is not going to get any better, certainly for me. And then, if it keeps on going like this, then, 5 years is enough time. And so these people who are making all these predictions, for some reason, they're not able to make make a prediction that put their life behind it and put a timeline behind it and all that kind of stuff. And so End Times Teacher is quick to say, he should stop posting videos and all that kind of stuff. The reason he wants me to stop posting videos is because he knows that the stuff that he's teaching are just lies and stupid, and he's just an idiot. And so only like a person who's peddling lies will want another person reading out of the Bible to stop reading out of it. And so again, for me, that is more confidence for me that actually the Bible is true and what I'm sharing is true. That other people who should be scholarly about the Bible and want to be challenged and all that don't want certain people to teach. He only wants other dumb people who will come under the umbrella of GMS to like push their nonsense. And we like flat out know that they're just stupid, like they're just idiots, and they're not making any predictions. They're like, yeah, look out for this, this will kind of be like this and then that and all that kind of stuff, but Mark of the Beast is going to be RFID, but, I pointed out what if it doesn't have the RF in it? He's like, okay, you're right. It's like the Mark of the Beast is the first thing that goes in the hand that's worldwide and is required to buy and sell. That's period. That's what it is. And so he claims that it's an RFID microchip, but is he going to put his life behind that? Is he going to put a timeline behind that? These people don't have anything, and so let's say it happens to just be a mark, like a number indicating a particular type of vaccine, and then the mark in the forehead could then mean like a temperature check. I'm just speculating, I don't know, but it has to be, and no one will disagree, we'll all agree that's in the hand. And so for sure, physical cutting, it's not a stamp, it's not a badge or anything like that. It has to be in the flesh. And so I just put that as hypothetical, and we see that as a possibility. What if it's like a vaccine number on the hand and etched in, and then it's like a temperature check, which is what the mark is in the forehead. And so that would still satisfy the mark of the beast, and so we're not allowed to put anything in our body, at all. And so if that initiative that I just described, a mark in the hand, a vaccine, which is also unlawful, if it's done worldwide under the guise of this kind of hoax, and then it's a marking in the hand, and then it's also like they check your temperature or whatever, just to double check that you're not, passively carrying the virus or something like that, or negative effects of the vaccine. If that happens worldwide, that's the mark of the beast. And so again, I'm not saying that it's not the RFID. It could still be, with an actual microchip and all that kind of stuff, tracking, and they could make a narrative, contact tracing, all the things that everybody knows about. So I'm not diluting that, but I'm just saying all their predictions are vague and stupid. And so I'm the only one that I've seen that's actually made a prediction, put a timeline behind it, and it actually looks like it's sort of coming to pass. And one could argue that it technically has already this year. And so America is in chaos. Even if these people like it here, and then their plan is to go dangle off trees like monkeys, that doesn't mean that we think that this is normal. Like for everyday people who actually care about God's laws and Christ is the fulfillment of it, we see that America's in chaos right now. And so people had spiritual eyes to see this a long time ago, but it's like blatantly obvious, that that's the case. And so, we know that these people are off because they will not hold their own people accountable for all these false predictions. And year 2000, Tahar truncated almost the entire book of Revelation, making a stupid prediction like that, as if God cares about whatever he says and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying God cares about what I say, but the nice thing about the prediction that I made is that it's just everybody knows that this is a joke. Like everybody knows that all these leaders are actors, and all the people that go and vote and talk about them are also actors. And so that's a huge percentage of the world. And so let's say that that's 98% of the world. Then there's 2% left. And then in that 2%, they'll know at least that, and then they'll know a lot of other deeper things like this is hell, Mystery Babylon, Mark of the Beast, and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, the cat is absolutely out of the bag. Like this Corolla thing just made it like flamboyantly obvious that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. So, the Bible's literally coming true. And so, I just wanted to clarify that. I'm going to send him this video, or people like that who are like, well, why are you still posting videos and all that? It doesn't actually matter. My videos now are more just to kill time, because I'm not necessarily sharing anything new. I'm posting stuff about the economy, which everybody knows is tanking, layoffs and all that. It's not new. I'm posting stuff about Corolla and how stupid it is, like dog sniffing for COVID-19, which is retarded. And so it's just like, it's more just to kill time. And so I'm not doing any quote prophesying. And so the only thing they don't like about it is because I'm pointing out how stupid they are, just again, for me to kill time. So, but that's just like more comedy, more entertainment. I guess I could technically make another channel and then, just go after their videos on another channel and, delete everyone up to that date. But to me, the continuity, I like it to have all the videos together. And then if somebody, comes by my page, I can send them the link and then know that, all of this is my stuff. But it's more cosmetic at that point, just to have organization. But again, I'm not sharing anything new. There's no new prophecy or anything that I've set my prediction. And like I've said, in this timeline, this year intensely, next year lightly, after that nothing. I'll just watch. I'll be an observer. And to be honest, I won't care. I don't want to post videos or do anything with the flat earth. I'm already out. I don't really, people want, once in a while I get things about flat earth, and I don't want that. I don't even want to talk about it really at all. If people think that they're spinning, then that's up to them. That's up to them, dude. If they think their buildings are rotating, gyrating and all that, hey, go for it. That's all you. And then if you know that we're not spinning and you don't think that's a big deal, that's all good. Good luck getting on your chariot or whatever you think that you deserve for being a liar, and a deceiver. So I wish those people luck at this point. So again, all this stuff from that date to now is kind of just killing time. But, I don't know, man. It's this stuff is just, it's heating up. To me, it's I would be very, very shocked if the God of the Bible does not appear soon. And so let's say this time did pass, 2023 goes by, and none of these things come to pass, nothing that I predicted, nothing. And then God, how could I feel bad about myself if I were to interact with God? I'll be like, well, you told us to kind of look out in the signs. And then I was like, well, this place is completely evil and all that kind of stuff. And so, and then we taught with urgency, and all that kind of stuff. I would be very comfortable with that. I wouldn't feel guilty about it, or I would not feel guilty about leaving the Bible after that or anything like that. I'll be like, that's to me, it's absolutely absurd for even today to have existed, and all that. Again, this is God's plan and we're just a character in the movie, but that's the level of urgency and confidence that I have that this has to happen soon, and so, that's where I'm at. And so I will definitely stick to my end of 2023 thing. This year, again, is mostly just generic stuff about the Bible, that support the Bible as being something that people should go and look into. And then let's say I have an occasional quote scholar come by, or proclaimed scholar, then I might get into them with Revelation 11, but most people don't want it. They don't want to talk about it because it's obvious that if a person takes the Bible literally and doesn't dance around it, that for the Bible to be true, there has to be two men standing on earth in America for the Bible to make any sense. And so if they're not in America and they're somewhere else, then that my whole interpretations, all of them are wrong. Then Mystery Babylon, it's not Mystery Babylon. The Jews are not the so-called Negroes. I don't even know. I don't know what's what. And so that's another abort mission. Again, I'm not trying to get people to get away from the Bible. It's just what I taught would be wrong. And then I'm not going to give it a third try. It's over for me, and then that kind of thing. And so that's my position, when it comes to my 2023 prediction. So, it's just a wait and see, and we'll see what happens. Hope everyone's doing well. Bye.